Hi, this is Sarah from Every Song Sucks. Today I have Lina with me from Predatory Void.
Hi,
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Bad. How's your day going? Actually, I think you must be a little later than me. You're in the afternoon time. It's morning for me, 10 o'clock. So
All right.
how's your day going?
It's good. I've done a lot of stuff today, so it's busy. Preparing for the show on Thursday.
Yeah, that's exciting.
Yeah, a bit stressful,
Yeah,
to be
yeah.
honest.
So I guess I'll just get right into it. You have a debut album coming out April 21st, so that's coming up really quick. Seven Keys to the Discomfort of Being. Can you explain how the title of the album, or like what it means to you?
So the album is dealing with like themes of different types of discomfort, actually. So you're dealing with like emotional, mental, physical distress, and we're trying to kind of represented in the song. So every song has like the elements of this discomfort in them, in the lyrics, and I think like some kind of a struggle within the music itself.
That makes a lot of sense to me. The emotions are like I find they really do ring through in the songs. I can definitely pick them out. So you did a good job of that.
Yes.
So you were invited to join the band by Leonard, right?
Yeah.
So was that an easy answer?
To be honest, I haven't heard from him for like I've known him for 10 plus years, but I haven't heard from him for like maybe eight. Yeah.
Reconnection for sure.
Yeah. And then once I got a message from him and I was like, this is a joke. I could not believe that. I was like, yeah, someone is just pulling a prank on me. It can't be real. But then I answered and he sent me demos and I really loved what he wrote. So it was easy, but in the beginning I was like, no way."
Yeah. So it was a surprise for you for sure, eh?
It was, yeah, big time.
Um, Not that you've done vocals before and lyrics and everything. In
Hmm.
Crossbringer, right? In Crossbringer.
Yeah, in Crossbringer, and before that, I had like several bands as well.
Yeah.
So I have some experience.
Yeah. How did you get started with music? That's a big question, I guess, but
Well, I used to sing in a choir at school when I was very little,
yeah.
but I got kicked out because I did it like in secret. I had to learn to play instruments in secret as well from my parents.
Oh,
Yeah. They wanted me to play piano, and I played it, and then I didn't like the teacher, and then another teacher, she left. So I joined the choir, but I was like, yeah, they're not gonna like it if I stay late after school. And then I had to skip a lot of rehearsals and they kicked me out, even though they were like, yeah, you have a really good voice. And so I stopped for some time. And then I heard there was like a guitar circle at school and I joined it. So I also had to look for like excuses to be late home.
okay.
And then I told them, and they were like, yeah, but just do it if you like it. But they didn't believe that I would be like following through with it.
Okay.
And then I went to musical school and I finished it in like 3 years because I had to hurry because like if you finish normal school you have to leave there as well, so I had to like synchronize it a little bit.
Yeah.
And then I really wanted to play drums but my parents forbid it. um and then when I started listening to like more heavier music, I didn't listen to like very underground bands in the beginning because I had no access to like internet and stuff like that. But then I used to sing and dance and play music like as a child a lot. So
So it's been a part of your life. Yeah.
yeah, but I stopped for a bit. Um, I think when I started listening to like heavier music, I was like, yeah, I'm just gonna listen to this because they really answer to like all of my cravings, everything I want to have expressed, like feelings wise, they are doing it already, so I'm good with that. But then I got some ambition of like, oh, I actually want to play in a band as well. And then it started like in underground circles or something like that. And then here we are.
So when you were learning vocals, was there an end game in mind, or did you just experiment?
There is no end game, I feel like.
No.
Ever, because I always hear something that's not good. I always feel like I could do something better. But I started basically, I sang in like a death metal, deathcore band.
Yeah.
And they just needed someone, and I don't remember at all. I was like 17, 18 years old, I feel like. And they asked me, and I just started practicing like gutturals and stuff like this, like pig squeals and gutturals.
Yeah.
And then I played and sang in hardcore bands, and then my other band, like The Homeless Is Dead is called. It was kind of like power violence, meth grind band. And then I had to really scream at the top of my lungs and move a lot.
Yeah.
And then I realized that like the technique isn't there. I'm just doing something. And the worst episode of that part of my life was that when I we had to play like a DIY festival in Germany, and I got so stressed, and I did like the whole tour, 7 dates every day, no like days off.
Yeah.
And we arrive in Germany, and I have like heartache, a lot of heartache.
Yeah.
I'm
Worry.
I don't know what it was. I feel like I had maybe like some kind of panic attack because I had trouble breathing, but it was like mentally very challenging to do 4 people in one car. And then I started puking with water on stage.
Oh, okay.
I couldn't produce any sounds, and I was just like constantly like puking, and it was super embarrassing. But no one said anything. I'm like, yeah, I'm just gonna try to forget it, but I never did.
Well, good for you being so determined to come back from that. Yeah.
Yeah, and now I'm really trying my best in like warming up, cooling down, just really listening to my body. So now I'm trying to follow more like academic approach in that regard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense to me, because I know when I get emotional, my throat kind of closes a bit, right?
Yeah.
So how do you produce vocals? Yeah, exactly. That's yeah. So you guys actually did some performance before you released your album, because it's not even released yet. So how was that experience, like both being after a pandemic, so not being around people that much, and then just being a new band, like that whole experience of performing?
It was stressful. I would say we were just on the way to, so every answer I'll give is going to be like a story in itself. So
yeah, that's good.
I don't know, it's okay.
People will hear it anyways. That's
all right. So just to create like some context, and maybe you'll imagine something. So we were on the way in the car, and I'm getting a text that we will have to play like an hour early or something like that. And I'm already being like, fuck, I haven't been on stage in 7 years. I don't know what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
And we're right there. We had to sound check like extremely fast. We already saw people like behind the doors, just like crowding and like looking. So it's no, it's something, definitely. But actually on stage when we were performing, I really felt so supported.
Okay.
I felt like part of an entity, not like, oh my God, I'm doing this alone.
Yeah.
No, I didn't feel like this at all. I really felt it really felt like magic in a sense. I don't know. It really felt like we were one entity and we're doing this together, and we were breathing and moving. Yeah, it was great.
That's good.
And after the pandemic, I already went to several shows. So yeah, that felt weird in the beginning, but then when we had to play, it felt okay, actually. felt pretty good. Yeah.
So was there a standout moment for you recording the album?
Yeah. um so when we were, I'm not gonna say which song, but there was one song on the album that was super difficult for me to write, because in the beginning, I like one of the first lyrics I wrote was about a serial killer named Zodiac.
Okay.
So a little weird, but so I wrote it. I was like, yeah, it's great. I really wanted to make something like this for so long. And then when we were recording, they were like, yeah, so this doesn't fit the atmosphere at all. So you will have to do something else.
Yeah.
And I was resisting with all my being. And like, I was like, yeah, okay, I promise you I'll do that.
Yeah.
And I spent several weeks trying, and it never happened. So I shared like a document. I write compulsively, so I have a lot of lyrics written down all the time.
Yeah.
And they went through my sketches and they were like, yeah, well, we made kind of like a Frankenstein text for the song. Maybe you'll try to sing it. And then I did everything like just screaming, and they were like, yeah, that's not gonna fly. So we really had to, it has like melodic parts and screaming and a lot of like vocalization.
Yeah.
So that was really challenging because I don't delegate with a lot of pleasure. I'm a control freak in many things. And that was like, okay, you know what? I'm going to listen to you, and I'm going to be really like timid and tame. And I'm just going to follow, and we'll see. And in the end, I was like, that's my favorite song now.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of glad. It taught me life lessons.
Yeah, for sure. So what is the biggest challenge as a lyricist and a vocalist, do you think?
Sometimes I have, like personally, I sometimes have like crazy ideas, but not in like, I don't know. Sometimes I want to say too much, and then I want to say like everything I feel, but like very cryptically, so no one will understand. So you have to kind of keep this balance of like being very open, but also creating images that will kind of verbally work and create a certain atmosphere and context for the listener.
Yeah.
And this balance is something I really love, this game of being very direct and being cryptic.
Yeah.
And sometimes it works, and sometimes it's a big challenge to really get your point across, kind of. And vocally, I feel like I will have to do a lot of I'll have to train a lot to get better. I'm at a certain level now, but I want to do more, and I already know what I want to do. And will this be enough for me when I learn to do that? I think it won't, but I'll try. So it's constantly like listening to other people, and then working. Sometimes you have to work with like coaches to just perfect your technique, or just like for maintaining your instrument. And so that's one of the challenges as well, I would say.
So this was actually a bit of a step out for you, right? Like it was a challenge vocally. You did a few different things that you hadn't done in.
I haven't done them because it was never like necessary.
Yeah.
In the music that I played before, it was just like screaming, yelling, shouting was like very raw, very straightforward. And here we really went for this vulnerability, but not in the lyrics itself, but I mean in the lyrics as well. But when you're only shouting and yelling the vulnerable things, sometimes it's like it's a different thing.
Yeah.
Different. I don't know how to express it. Like you, yeah.
Like it's a different technique, but it's also a different part of you or something that you have to.
yeah, it gets received in a different way.
Yeah.
I feel like. And it's also for a very different crowd sometimes, because not everyone is able to listen to constant shouting for like an hour.
Yeah.
And with this album, with this band, it's like something different. Yeah. But I'm really glad we did it, because now I know, like, okay, I can sing differently, and yeah, it's great to know that.
Learning what you're capable of.
Yeah.
So what promotes creativity in you, and what would stop creativity, do you think? I know you're a creative person. I know you also do tattoos and
Yeah.
things, and
Yeah. I get inspired basically by anything. I'm very visual, so anything that's like an eye candy for me, it can be very weird. Like last couple of weeks, I look at a lot of like frog memes,
yeah.
and this is, for me, it's very inspiring for some reason, because they're super melancholic, and then the frogs don't. I don't know why I'm explaining this, but like it's, for me, it's very important. But they express so much pain, and at the same time they're so funny, and I like this juxtaposition of I'm roasting myself, you're laughing, I'm also laughing, but I'm also crying, and this is like the whole cycle all the time. But I enjoy anything, basically. Like I can listen to a song and then I hear a word or like a sentence and I'm like I write it down immediately, because this can result in a song, this can result in a painting or like a tattoo design. I might be just writing a text and refer to this phrase, or I can go for a walk and see a flower and be like, oh my god. And when I started therapy, I once was walking, I went to pick up like cupcakes for myself, and I was walking, and for a moment I realized I'm hearing like birds sing, and it's so sunny, and I see the flowers, and a butterfly just flew by me, and I was like, oh, wow. And I never noticed it before, because I was always like very depressed.
Right.
Yeah, and then I started crying because it was so great, this moment.
It's true. So, like the way you can see things depending on your frame of mind or what you're doing, or the way it can speak to you.
Yeah, so it can be anything. I can be on a tram and hear two people talk about something, and maybe they can express a thought that's like super weird, and I'll be like, oh, okay, I write it down. So I'm on my phone all the time because I need to write stuff down. Yeah.
So there's a sketchbook that's featured in Endless Return to the Kingdom of Sleep in the video. Oh, that was really cool. The whole idea for the video and everything.
Thank you so much.
So this artwork has actual sketches that you've done that are nightmares. So hopefully this isn't too personal, but can you share one of the nightmares that are sketched in the book? Some more info about it.
Yeah. So I can tell you about an encounter that I had. I was 12, maybe. No, just sleeping in my bed, and like in front of me there's a wall, and in the corner there's like my door, so like you can go in and out of the room, and I'm sleeping just like facing the wall, and the door is on the right. And I suddenly wake up because I need to go to the bathroom, and I'm just like looking at the door, and I see an entity in it, like just a silhouette of a person. And you can't see like the face, the arm, nothing. You can't see the limbs, nothing. It's just a silhouette, and you can see like the ray of light going from top down, and only when you see this light, you can see the silhouette. And I was super scared. And I saw this entity twice when I was a child. And I was super scared, but at the same time, I felt like it doesn't want to hurt me. It's just there to look at me, basically.
Okay.
And then I ran past it to the bathroom, and I didn't want to pee anymore because I was just like, what the fuck is going on? And then I opened the door, and it was standing in front of me again. So I ran because I was like, I'm not gonna sleep in the bath or something like that. And then when I went to sleep immediately because I was just terrified. And then another time I woke up and it just peeked inside like this, and then it went away and I never saw it again. So that was one thing. And nightmares, mostly I have, they have something to do with like a chase. Someone wants to kill me all the time. From time to time, it's like Satan's minions. And someone is like, yeah, they're really looking for you. And then I turn around and there are like people with knives, just like, and they're not people anymore, but now they're chasing me. Yeah, a lot of stuff. But it's mostly like very dramatic, over the top. But I also have an ability to lucid dream. Okay. So sometimes I would wake up in the dream and I would be like, okay, we need to get out of here. Yeah. And then I can draw like a door or a window and get out. And one of those things, the most interesting one that I had is that I had a dream I was trapped in like in a building, like a very high apartment block. But it wasn't built, it had no doors or windows. Yeah. And I had to climb upstairs all the time. And then I found like a room with an old lady in there, and she was just watching TV, and she had like linoleum floor. And when I saw it, I think I recognized the pattern, and I immediately became conscious, and I started cutting out this pattern, and I cut out like 20 layers of this pattern, and then I got out of the building.
Yeah, you're even creative in your dreams.
I guess, but it's always very, very difficult. Yes. It's very difficult, but when you wake up, you're like super tired, but you're happy that it ended.
I've also had very strong experiences with bad dreams and stuff. So, yeah. So that's why I'm kind of calm while you're saying it, because it's like, yeah, I get it. But yeah, thank you for sharing that. Very interesting.
It's nice to know that I'm not alone with this, because mostly when I tell people this, they're like, "You're really weird."
Oh no, I like, and that idea of like being chased, that was always like, even since I was a kid, I was always being chased. Yeah. And I would run. I would actually get up and walk and like just run through my house to get away, literally. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So as I said, I know you work as a tattoo artist, which I find very interesting. Can you tell me about a piece of art that stands out that you did for someone else, or maybe for yourself? Yeah. Or it could be more than one.
That's difficult, because now at this point it has become a routine in a certain way. But I had one client from France, and she came to me for two day session. So we did 4 in total, I feel like. And she's a librarian, and she's a big fan of Audrey Beardsley. It's like a 19th century illustrator. Okay. Very intricate designs, and he illustrated, I think, Oscar Wilde's books.
Okay.
And she won in the back piece with one of his illustrations. So it was a big challenge, because it's also very painful doing back and like 2 days in a row. But she really did great. And we had a lot of very interesting conversations about art and music, because she listens to the same music as well. So it was really nice. And yeah, we managed to, it was difficult to like shape it to like a female body. Right. Also like the hourglass figure, because the page is like a rectangle. So you have to really, and we had a lot of conversations about like how it should be, what we should like amend and stuff like this. It was a big challenge, but in the end, it's very beautiful. But sometimes I get to do like very personal designs when it's like a memorial tattoo or something like that. It involves a lot of conversations, a lot of interpretations, because sometimes people want it, but they don't know how to approach it.
Yeah.
Or they've seen like examples that are very trivial, but like they I don't know, they don't have the opportunity to see some things that can be maybe much better, much more like conveying of the idea that they have. So I have to really help and open doors for them, that they can understand what is possible. And sometimes they're really scared because they hear about like very grumpy tattoo artists that only want to do their own stuff. And then I have to comfort them and be like, yeah, you know what, just tell me what you want and I'll try to make some good. We'll do something else or whatever. I'm just happy when people are happy, you know.
That's good.
It's a lot to take with the pain, with the hours, and with the money. So we should both be satisfied with the results.
Totally makes sense.
Yeah.
If you lived closer, I'd get you to do a tattoo for me.
Well, who knows?
You sound like you're a great one. Great.
Thank you.
So what do you think is the point of music as a creator, as a listener? It's a big one.
It is. Well, for me personally, I would say it's like a mirror sometimes. When I could compare it with a mirror for sure, because sometimes you listen to like a new band or a new artist, and then you get your own feelings or experiences reflected at you. So sometimes it can be very confronting. You're like, yeah, no, I don't want to touch this. But sometimes you really feel understood and you really feel seen, and it can act like a crutch sometimes in difficult situations. So I feel like it can make you really happy, but it can also carry your weight with you in certain situations. So I don't know if it's a great friend. Music is a great friend.
Good line. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. It's been like that to me, like through my horrible teenage years. I felt like anytime I would sit like on the floor with my headphones on, with my CD player, I felt like this is my world and I'm here and I feel understood, and I don't feel alone anymore.
Like
so yeah,
escape in a way.
Yeah.
So just the album artwork, the black and white, and then the red. For me, it seemed almost like the red was like the discomfort or whatever. But who came up with the idea for that? And
Leonard has found someone. His name is Sven. So he created the artwork. He also worked with Amen-Ra before.
Yeah.
And then we also saw his colorful collages, because he makes manual collages. It's not like digital. He really makes it, like that. And we saw some collages like fire and meat and things like that. And we asked him to interpret the music. So we had a feeling that this was like, okay, this is it. Exactly. From the start, just like, yes.
So I go to songs for certain moods, such as when I'm excited or angry. Is there a song that you can think of that you would listen to when you're feeling a specific way?
I have one song that I rediscovered because I knew it several years ago from YouTube or something like that. It's gonna sound super weird, but I have like periods when I feel like down.
Yeah.
And there is one song by Tangerine Kitty, it's called. It's like a band or maybe an artist. And and it's called Down Ways to Die.
Okay. You know,
And it got very and it's very like it's very funny and very like a shiny songs, a shiny song, uh, and it got popular on TikTok recently,
okay.
like
Yeah.
a couple of months ago. And then I was like, huh, I know this song, and I found it, and it's on my phone. So anytime I'm like, everything sucks. I hate everything. I just put it on and I'm just doing my dishes, and instantly I'm in a good mood.
This time, and I
That's
believe
a
you guys are
great
going to do
one.
well, and I'm looking forward to the reaction from people because I have heard the album. I think it's great.
Yeah, thank you so much.
So yeah, thanks for getting together today.
Thank you. I really appreciate it. It was a really nice talk.
Yeah, all the best to you.
Thank you so much. Same to you.
Thank you.